thunder, whose image is great in Egypt. Isis, name is Ma'Ra'ash. Isis is more of a title than a name. The Ra part of her name identifies her family, as does Ash. Since there was already one daughter of Ash, Lam-Ashta, identified, she only needed to add the Ra portion to signify her family's participation. That and naming the entire chapter after her, Thunder, the blessing to this verse reads, Alif Lam Mem Ra. Or if you reverse it for convention's sake, Ra Mem La Alif. That should give you enough to get started. Try and decode the rest if you can. The next way message will be short and sweet. Muhammad was a great man and even a greater prophet. I will not take away from his message, but I will confirm it to those who have never heard it. I leave you with this thought to think about before the next way message. There is only one God, and Muhammad was the last prophet sent by God's messenger, and she is the greatest of all the prophets. If you truly know of Islam, then you already know this. Salam, Mahdi. That concludes chapter 12, and briefly is the way chapter 13. Special note: I have been instructed not to release this chapter. Why? I may not reveal the reason behind that decision. By this time next year, I believe it will be obvious. To the children of Islam, I can only say this. Remember that the triangle is the symbol of Gore, and as they say, seeing is believing. Salam, Mahdi. That concludes chapter 13. Chapter 14, Looking Back and Ahead. A long time ago, there lived a man, some say a great man, others that he was just lucky, in the right place at the right time, as the saying goes. Regardless of which of these views you might subscribe to, the simple fact remains that this particular man had a profound impact on all around him. He was a teacher of sorts, a teacher of life and all its complexities. The lessons he taught changed the world for all times. The lessons were simple things, not grand philosophies or high-ended theology, just plain old common sense, everyday things. It had been said that he had a special power to communicate ideals, a way to make them clear and understandable to everyone, regardless of intelligence. This is the mark of genius, the hand of the profound at work, the true nature of the Word of God. I have tried to prepare the way in this same manner, one that would be both informative and at the same time easily understood by all. Preparing the historical proportions of the way messages were certainly a formidable task. Bear in mind that all that I have written was already known. I have said nothing new. I have merely gathered that was fragmented and forgotten and made it whole again. It was a difficult task with many of the pieces scattered in different cultures and histories. Some of the pieces have been forgotten, simply silenced by the march of time. In other cases, pieces were deliberately hidden with devious intent. The idea being to erase from your memories events that might challenge the prevailing power structures now on this planet. Still, the pieces of the puzzle were there, waiting for the day to come when they would be reassembled into the big picture. This is what you now have in your possession, the big picture, and no one can take this from you. The historical way messages only scratch the surface of an immense body of buried knowledge. Using them, you should now be able to better understand many mysteries of the past. Think of them as a sort of Rosetta Stone, and you can decipher the language of the hidden world you call history. One of the most difficult to understand and also the most important for you to have a true knowledge about was the book of Revelations in the Christian Bible. It has been called one of the greatest mysteries of all prophetic writings. I have shown you it is neither. It should no longer remain a mystery, for I have explained it to you. It is not a work of prophecy, but in fact a history, a historical record that verifies much of what I have said to you. That it remains an enigma for so long is not surprising. That is what it was intended to be. It was saved for a time in the future when its real meaning would be revealed, and in doing so, authenticate the source of that revelation. This is a powerful thing. I have just told you. I hope you fully appreciate and understand what I have said. It is important. One of the things that is uttermost in my mind and deeply concerns me is my own ability to express the contents and ideas of the way messages accurately. These are important matters, and as such requires the deepest commitment to truth. My concern is that some will not understand or will misinterpret what I have said. If this happens, it is my fault, and in no way that of she who sent me. I am only human, and although my search for historical data and its writings has been inspired from elsewhere, the relating of these matters in understandable format has been my task. I pray that I have been up to it, and that all I have said has been easy to comprehend. My goals was to provide you with the missing pieces many of you knew existed, but was unsure where to look. The way messages should have confirmed many of your own deep beliefs and intuitions regarding the past and the involvement of extraterrestrials in it. This was the purpose of the historical way messages. There is, however, a larger, much deeper goal the way has sought to achieve. That is, to try and correct the mistakes and failures of a previous Doma mission known as the Messiah Projects. As you'll remember, they were an attempt to bring advanced human concepts to the earth. It was thought that it would serve as a uniting force that would make all mankind seek after truth together. This, as everyone knows, has not been very successful. In fact, it has had the exact opposite effect, driving a religious wedge between the peoples of earth and resulting in much loss of life, knowledge, and growth of spirit. This is the main problem, the main failure that the way seeks to address. Many of you have perceived the way as simply a new religion. This is perhaps the furthest thing from its true intention as you can get. I will try to explain this, for it is vital that you clearly understand what the way is and what it is intended to do to life on this planet. Think of your life, this being not only you as a spirit, but the results and consequences of your actions as well as a great ship moving down a river. Your destination is the ocean into which all the rivers empty. The ocean is the one, your final goal. The river is your religious beliefs. It keeps you afloat and provides the means to reach your goal. There are many rivers that you